You are a real estate investor.
Right. Everybody wants to be a real estate investor.
Everybody.
Most people are scared. So what they want to do is feed off your experience to understand whether they should take the challenge or not. So you're going to say to them, yeah, this is what it's challenging, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you don't really want to do it? I tell you what, I have another avenue for you. Because I'm going to need money to do this project. Why don't we get in like this on the soft side? Maybe they get intrigued so much that they're like, what do I want to do that for? Let him do it. I'll just sit back and make the money. So there's different ways that everybody can make money, but the most important thing is for them to feel confident in you.
And you can always partner up with your some private money like him. Do the hybrid. Hard money, they ain't gonna let you lose. They ain't gonna let you get a bad deal. They're gonna make sure your contract.
Hard money saying yes, it's a good deal, believe me.
Yeah, if you're hard money, so you can take your private guy. Say your hard money is gonna loan you 80. You can take your private guy and bring the 20. And even if you don't need it, man, I borrowed tons of money when I didn't even need it because I wanted to show them this who I am, right? I'm like, I don't need it, but it's just an expense of doing business. Just an expense of doing business.
Yeah.
Good question though, man. That's good for you, bro.
Yeah, you really want to be the guy that people that are like, take it.
Take it. They'll get mad at you.
All right, you know what? I'll let you know if I need it.
So listen,
No, really.
Tico said it all. He said he's got people throwing money at him now. So the more successful you become,
Well, he wasn't like that at the beginning, though.
no, the more successful you
Promise that.
become, the more people are gonna want to come. They're gonna be approaching you rather than you having to approach them. And the other thing is, and Kris put this best, man, in a conversation we had.
I was just about to say that. I know where you're going.
In the beginning, I used to feel like I was going hat in hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kris put that mindset. I was like, what are you crazy?
Because I was like, yo, you're doing them a favor. And he explained it. I said, you know what, Kris, you're right. And explained the favor I was doing, Kris, by going to private money.
That's right, yeah. So you're in the position. It starts here, guys. You know, it starts here. Like before, I was just like, you let me borrow money, da da da. Now I'm like, this the deal. doing this house, right? Respectively and lovingly. I'm just like, I totally don't need your money, Miss Smith. But I would if you could meet these. This is the house we're doing. You want to borrow the money or not?
But now, you just said, I don't need your money. How do you still get them?
No, that's here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I really don't need it.
Out loud.
Oh no, I don't.
Okay,
You
okay,
want
okay.
them to yeah,
Here.
No, you're not. No. Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
I'm saying my mind before was like,
Gotcha.
my mind was.
Because as you grow, people want to, now they trust you. And they trust you because you have experience.
Latch on.
You've gotten through all the fears that have stopped them from becoming real estate investors.
99% of the people.
So they're willing to lend you that money so that they could say, yo, I got a deal. So they could sit at the table, nah, I'm lending money to Kris Haskins and I'm making shitloads of money and I ain't doing anything.
That is big. You'll be surprised as you say.
Yo, how do I hook up with Kris Haskins? Yo, give me his number. Yo, watch his YouTube channel.
Dude, that is so big, y'all. I can't tell you. You rolling with who? You going to see who? This happens. He's talking about Thanksgiving dinner. You just go somebody. I just went to somebody at Thanksgiving dinner. You know who that guy? I'm telling y'all, yo. As soon as you start making people money and you say you show up, you rolling with who you got? Man, it sounds weird, but you start making those checks going out. You like him. There's more money. I try to remind myself this. There's more money in the system than you could ever borrow. They're printing it every day. And I know it may seem counterintuitive because it was for me. I used to be like, darn, if I just had X, if I could just get my hands on X. Now it's like, it's so much money out there, not enough good deals to go around. It's not enough good deals. And it starts here.
You just have to you have to have the mindset, you have to be confident.
Mindset, Dave.
I say the same thing over and over. One of the first people I've ever sold property to, investment property in my town where I live, in New Jersey, Super Bowl party. Guy I did not even know comes over to me and goes, everyone's talking to the other guy I talked to about investments. He goes, I don't want to buy anything in Florida. I had such bad experience. I said, all right, well, then you're good. He's like, no, but I want to buy something. I'm like, you just said you don't want to buy anything. He was like, So you don't want to tell me anything? I'm like, no, I'm just saying. I don't want to fight the challenge.
Yeah.
You do or you don't. He's like, well, I do. And then all of a sudden, I sold 5 other people in the same party.
Wow.
And that's where Cindy was. She
Yeah.
bought 12 units. He bought 5 units. The other guy bought 4. These are people that just have money.
And they've all made a
And
ton
they've
of
all
money.
been scared.
The thing is, guys, and Chris and my brother David will back this up 100%. You shake somebody's hand on a deal, you do the deal, even if it costs you money.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Don't screw with anybody's money, whether it be your contractors, whether it be your investors.
Pay him.
You pay them when you're supposed to pay them.
Regardless whether you
If it
make
means you go into your pocket, you pay them.
Yeah.
Keep your word. My father used to tell me all the time, and my brother, you only have one face. And you ain't changing your face. So if you don't want to have to hide your face, always keep your word.
It can be hard though.
It's an extremely difficult path to walk, especially when you're starting. It's extremely challenging, and the devil is at every single corner to encourage you not to keep your word. But if you can get through the challenges and keep your word, the money will come. I'd like to say we're different. I'm not looking for the one-hit wonder, and I'm not looking for where I can make my money like this. I'm looking to drop money where it's going to grow within the next 5 to 10 years.
Let's talk about that's where I wanted to go next. Managing money versus earning. Yeah. I just think that a lot of people don't even understand. You guys understand the concept and the different skill set of managing money versus earning money?
No.
Got it. All right. So for me, I had no idea that there was a skill set called managing money. I didn't even know. I thought all we had to do was learn how to earn. That was it. Then I earned so much of it, still broke. I'm like, damn, maybe there's another skill set that I don't know. So I like talking to these dudes because they've been managing it for a lot longer than me. So we all have our earn, and Patrick Bet-David told me personally that our earning arm is offense, and our managing arm is defense. So we do have to have offense to get started, but I want to ask you, Dan, when did you come upon the mental wherewithal and the capacity to understand that I have to manage what it is that I have?
So I'm going to tell you guys, I've always wanted to be wealthy, and I always knew. And I'll tell you the day I decided I was going to be wealthy. I was, again, grew up in across the street from Fort Greene Projects on Carlton Avenue between Myrtle and Park. And I was watching a TV show on my black and white TV.
And you had me stand up and change his
Yeah.
I was his remote control. I was the remote control that never got to use. Keep going. One more. Check. And it was only, thank God we didn't have cable. We only had like 7 channels.
So there was a man comes out of his house with his fedora hat, his raincoat, and the wife gives him his thermos and his briefcase, and he says goodbye to the shaggy dog and gives the wife the kiss, right? White picket fence. They walk over to a nice car. He drives away, right? And I'm like, I look at my mother. I said, Ma, we spoke Spanish only in the house then, and I said it to her in Spanish. I said, do people actually live like that? And she looked at me. She said, you will. And my mother doesn't realize the impact that 1 second in my life had on me. And that day I said, I'm gonna live like that. So at that moment, I knew I wanted to be wealthy. And I've lost how I even got into this.
Managing money versus
Managing money.
earning
So
money.
the transactions
No doubt
gives
at the
you
beginning.
earning money. But then you get to the point where how do you take the money you earned and expedite that to here? So your money's working for you. That's the management end.
Is that a skill? Well, I
That's
guess I
where
want
wealth
people.
begins.
It's a skill that I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't taught. I shouldn't say I wasn't taught. My parents did teach us. Both my mother and father are extreme savers. And my father always used to be putting into our heads, if you don't save, you can't take advantage of the opportunities.
Take yourself.
So for people that are, I want people to understand that transactions is just one piece to the puzzle.
Right.
It's just one piece to the puzzle, right? A lot of us think, including me, I'm like, if I could just do another deal, I'll be good. And then I found out 20 deals later, like, I ain't good. I got to figure out how to manage what I do have, and taking that 10, 20,000, putting it over here, grow a little bit, take it out, move it there, 50, 60, 70. That was a skill that unfortunately, I just want you guys to know that you're going to have to learn if you
I
want to
think
be
a
well.
lot of people get scared on the wealth, I always
Wealth
I
management.
always call managing money
Wealth
is where the wealth becomes.
There you go.
That's where wealth begins, right? We can all go out on the transaction side and make money,
Yeah.
but when you stop doing transactions, you stop making money. Imagine letting your money go out and run. And whether you decide to go back to work or not, the money keeps coming running back.
That's the real skill.
Right, that's the skill. But the hardest part of that is a lot of people I've spoken to, now that they have their nest egg and they've done what they needed to do to have the money, to manage it, they're scared to let it run, right? Because they're so comfortable having it right here and looking at their checks and so on and so forth all the time, right? They're scared to let it go. So,
Dan, is this a person that worked all their life and now have the nest egg, or is this somebody that I want to know that person? I think that's a valid point. Is this somebody that managed something small and now they've got a big something to manage?
it's usually
Generally speaking.
So I have two friends of mine that are officers, and this is I know. Okay, so
No disrespect.
no disrespect, right? So I tell them all the time, you guys are making great money now. All right, it's not like when I grew up, cops made no money. I used to go, you guys are nuts. Now they're like, you're nuts. Some kids, people, I'm like, you're nuts not to do that, but you're also nuts to stay in that. You have to take this and grow from it. And then they have money set aside, especially the people I know, they're retired at this
So
point.
they've worked then.
They've worked,
okay.
they're retired. I mean, some of these guys are walking out with $500,000, right? And I'm like, what are you gonna do with that money?
They're scared.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, it's not gonna last forever. When's the next time you're gonna have that opportunity to have this much money and once? Like, and I would say to them, you always talked about how lucky I was. I tell you, I was lucky. Most of our luck came from our parents we were lucky to have good parents to teach us what to do with our money when we got it. Because my father was always investing. And everyone in his family would be like, oh, he's money hungry, or he's crazy, or why does he have to work so hard? Now they look at him, they're like, he's a genius. Right? I always say, my father is the richest, poorest guy I know.
He will not buy a new car.
Nope.
I think understanding the fact that we're behind, well, I don't know about everybody here, but I just was behind the 8 ball when it just comes to money in itself. Because I just thought, if you just earned enough, then you're okay.
No.
I really thought I just was making, I've done 100,000, in a month, and like, the next thing you know, you're like back to, I was broke living in my friend's couch after making all this money in the music business. That's what turned for me when I realized that I look at a dollar like, man, it's not even, you can't even, it's only as good as what you can go spend it on. So the real trick is to get it out. My mentor's like, Kris, I want your money to go out and leave the front door and go get some friends, and it'll come back with some friends. So that's just a good perspective that I try. So we manage different accounts. So I have my IRA, I got my wife's IRA, I got my kids' Taylor's college account. Would everybody give Taylor a hand for having me today? My beautiful daughter. Wake up.
Man, you called her out. Because you hear your father talk like this all the time, right? Yeah.
She's so ahead of the ball. Right? Her friends are like, man, I need $5. She's like, $5?
Where's Morgan?
You know,
I know Morgan.
She's there.
Oh, Morgan, she loves the camera, Morgan.
Think of, just to round it off, think of it like these pro athletes, right? Pro athletes, they go out they make in their career
Gazillion
$100 million. They can make $10 million in a year, and most of them are broke. It's not
Most.
because they didn't know how to make the money. It's because they didn't know how to manage the money, right?
There you go.
So one of the things you really need to do is
Start
invest in
small.
yourself to understand either you're capable of managing it, or do you need to go ask someone for help to manage it, right? So you don't have to put all that burden on yourself, because when you're around people that are managing it, asking the right questions, just like we're here doing right now, you'll learn how to manage it yourself as well. But don't be fearful in asking for help, because you work that hard to find it and to get it. You don't want to be just throwing it out there because, oh, Kris, Dave, and Dan said put it out in the street. I'm like, no, you have to learn how, because that's the same mistake that a lot of the pro athletes made. So I use them as an example just because a lot of people can relate to that, because I'm sure everyone in this room knows some pro athletes that's now broke.
Yeah.
But we always look at Shaq and like, woof. You know, one of Shaq's best things he said, his kids are like, Dad, we're rich. He goes, no, I'm not rich. I'm rich. I love that. And Shaq is a very humble guy, but he's one of the few, or one of the many, I should say, that has made it. But I'm sure Shaq didn't know what he knows now while he was making the money.
Would
He
you say
learned
start?
it in the process.